Good afternoon. This is Debbie Broughton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Robert, Missouri. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. We're going to do another Silly Old Bear card. These are fast and easy cards to put together. Just if you need a card quickly, you could run up to your stamping room and make one in about 10 minutes. If you're here joining me, if you could say hi or something, that would be great. And we'll get started here in just a moment. We've had rain. It rained a lot of the night. And it's kind of dreary out today, but it's not as hot and humid as it was yesterday, so that makes it nice. And I think it's supposed to continue to rain for tomorrow. I have some flowers I need to put in my garden. I know I'm kind of late, but I was traveling a lot during May and the beginning of June, so I didn't want to plant flowers if I wasn't here to keep them watered and everything. So I have a couple more to get planted. Well, now the laptop says 2:30, so we'll get started. This is card number 4 of the Silly Old Bear series that I'm doing, and this time we're going to use one of these scenes that you could just cut right out of the DSP and decorate it. And on the inside, I found this from Framed Sentimental Frames, or Framing. Sentimental Framing. I like this saying. So, and then I put another little Pooh and Piglet picture inside. So let's get started. We're going to start out with a Mossy Meadow card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4-4. That's what all these cards are going to be. I did do some fancy folds and stuff like that with the Pooh set earlier. But this time we're just kind of doing easy, fast cards. So I kind of roughly cut this out, and I need it to be 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So I saved that to show you how I cut it. I already cut it at the bottom as close as I want it to get to the bottom. So let's see if we put this at 5 1/4. No, at 5. That's right, at 5 I need it because I have the mat that's 5 1/4 by 4. So if I do this, it's just going to cut it right at the top of the hydrangea hue. Just cuts off a little bit of it, saves the whole tree. Now let's see, we need it to be 3 3/4 wide. So this side has a lot more vanilla on it, so I'm just going to cut some of that off first. And then I'm going to see where we're at. That doesn't look like it cut very evenly, did it? Let's try again. Oh, it did pretty good. Okay. So now we're going to turn it this way, and we're going to say 3 3/4. I shouldn't have cut off that last little bit. That was too close of a cut. It leaves those little strings or fibers of paper. Okay, so let's put this 3 3/4. So, but we're still going to just cut a little bit of this vanilla off so it can kind of be the same size as that. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we already have our mat cut out here. Of course, I went ahead and cut this oval out for a different card because nobody's ever going to see it hiding behind this picture. And we're going to kind of get this centered in there. We're not going to glue it to the card yet because we want to put our ribbon on. Excuse me. Sometimes because it keeps raining and that it's that time of the year, my sinuses are just going crazy lately. So, I should have not went in the middle there. I wasn't thinking. So now I'm going to have to be careful with this that I don't lay it down on the glass mat and get a big line of ink. Okay, so that looks pretty good. We're going to put it this way. So I think that looks pretty straight. Next, we're going to do the ribbon around the bottom. Again, I have my beige and pecan pie ribbon here. And my box came today with my new tear and tape. And so now I have just a little bit left. Where did I put it from yesterday? See, this is what happens when you don't put everything in their place when you finish one card for the next day. You kind of just leave it lay here. And then you go to look for the tear and tape and it somehow got hidden in other things. I didn't even open the box yet, so with the new in there, so I can't just run and get that. Oh, here it is, right here. I just didn't see it. It was hiding. Tomorrow is my youngest granddaughter's 12th birthday. We're very excited, looking forward to it. She wants to go to Ocean Buffet for her birthday supper. We usually, if it's your birthday, you get to pick where we're going to eat out. She had her recital this past weekend for dance, and she did 5 different dances in the recital. She's gotten very good at her dancing. She seems very much older than 12. So we're going to take off these papers. Maybe. Then we're going to take our ribbon. There's really not a right or wrong side to this ribbon that I can tell. And we're just going to, we want to go around the bottom so that we could put Pooh and Piglet. It's like they're walking into the woods there. So we'll just put this right here. It's a little bit further down than what I did on the sample, but they don't have to be exactly the same. Okay, so now we're going to glue this down to our mat. Like I said, these are pretty fast and easy, especially when you already have things cut out. I showed this yesterday. What I did was I was just sitting here with a little bit of time, so I went through and cut some more of the seams out and then some more of the paper. And so I just have them all collected in here. Oh, this one wouldn't be a good one to put an oak leaf. I have some oak leaf and acorns in there. But this one's not, I don't really know a place to put those. Those are better for the little oval shapes to do. So we're going to add this to our card base. And the next thing we're going to do is stamp our words, which come from Lovely Arrangements. It says Sending Smiles. I thought this was a perfect scene for sending smiles. We'll see how good we can do. I like most times to stamp and then cut, but I didn't want to have to leave you just looking at a blank screen when I went to cut it out. And if I bring my embossed cut machine over here and use it, it just shakes the camera so much. There we go. Getting a little bit better at that. So now I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. Here they are right here. There, I got that paper off. There, I got just the paper that time. I don't know why that's happening today. I keep taking off the paper instead of the whole dimensional. Okay, so we're going to put this right in the middle here. I kind of always have to hold it up to see if I'm getting it in the middle. I think it needs to go, if we could get it back up, it needs to come a little bit more to the right. There, that looks better. Then we're going to take Pooh and Piglet here and just put some dimensionals on there, on Pooh's head to hold it up. And we'll glue the feet down to the label. I could also put a small dimensional on Piglet. Well, we'll just use a piece of a big one. I didn't get my small ones out. I wasn't thinking I needed them. We're just going to cut this little piece here and we'll put it kind of on Piglet's head. Okay, so that should help them stand out. It'll just look like they're taking a hike through the 100-acre woods. Put a little bit of glue on their feet just to hold them to the label. And we don't want to mess up the sending smiles. So there we go. So now it kind of gives it a 3D look like they're walking. And now we're going to do the inside. So I set the inside up on my Stampin' Positioner because it's really two separate stamps. And I didn't want to try to get all that perfectly straight on camera. So I decided, oh, I haven't used this for a while. So let's try this. Make sure that it looks nice and inked up. I just love the Stampin' Positioner. It's so easy to use. And then if I was making multiples of this card, I could just sit and stamp as many of these in a row that I wanted to, and they'd all be exactly the same. So just kind of smooth it out there. And now I think the bottom one looks like it's crooked, although it doesn't really look like it's crooked on here. Look, I had stamped this side just to be sure it looked right before I did it live, and it came out really straight. I don't know why this one looks crooked. No, now that I look at it better, I don't think it's that crooked. We shall put this over here. And we will, I just cut out, rather than, on this one I cut out another one with the dies where they're standing together. But I like this one where they're walking in the grass. So I saved some of the grass and some of the sky, but I'm not going to need it all. So I'm going to kind of put it on here and then trim it after I get it on there so that I have room to put my name. I didn't realize how tall it was going to be. So we'll put some adhesive on the back here. Trying to stay away from the bottom edge because we're going to cut that off. And we'll get this put on here. And we'll trim it off. There we go. Now it looks like it belongs there, and I have enough room to put my name, or I could write a little message over here. Perhaps I should have made my greeting go up higher. Then this will go on the inside. Now all we need to do is to put some bling on and Stella. So, for this one I was thinking let's use some of the in-color butterflies because they're just so cute, and this is a good scene, an outside scene to put butterflies on. Find my pick a tool. So what color should we use? Let's do the crisp cantaloupe. It seems like I haven't done very many of those. Actually, this row here, which is the Barely Blush, is the one that I have the most of, so let's try that. So we're going to put a big one up here, a little one down here. Let's put it on this side. And then maybe we could fit another little one on our greeting. These are just so cute. Okay, we get Stella, and then we are done. So let's Stella. Oh, how did their feet get on the other side? I thought I had their feet up on this label. Maybe they fell off when I was putting on the butterfly. There we go. Okay, we'll be real careful now that we keep their feet above the label. I need to put the lid on my pick a tool or I will lose it. So here we have some Wink of Stella. We're going to do Pooh. And we're going to do Piglet. And there we go. Card number 4. Finished for today. Hi, Anna. I just now saw that you were on. Thanks so much for joining me. Isn't this a cute card for a friend? Because I love the inside. From laughs to tears, I'm happy we've shared them together. I just think that sounds like a good friend card to send. Well, I hope you all have a great afternoon, and I will see you tomorrow, Saturday, at 2 o'clock. I was running a little bit late this morning, so that's why I switched it to 2:30, but I'll try to be on time tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Happy stamping. Bye.